feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of
Okay, this is Coleman Valley Road, everyone. This climb, we're at the start of the climb here. We're just coming off of Highway 1. This climb is a classic Sonoma County road climb. For those of you who like doing road cycling. It was actually featured in the Tour of California as one of the highlight climbs in the stage here in Sonoma County several times actually. It's a beautiful road, beautiful climb. The views at the top are stunning. It's a must do for any West Coast cycling, road cycling connoisseur. I would definitely say put this one on your list if you haven't already. It's not a long climb, but it is steep. I'm running the triple today. I've got the 30-29, I believe it is, on the back. So nice comfortable gearing for an old guy like me. And we're gonna settle in now and do this climb. We'll get to the top. I'll show you some of the views. You won't be disappointed. So we're here on the false summit of this climb. You would think that you're done climbing when you get up to here, but this is just a flat, leveled off section before you climb again. Oops. I have to shift into the triple here. Just dropped into the triple here, the small ring. That was the false summit back there. There's definitely more climbing as we go along. Okay, up here at the top of this climb, we're gonna hang a right on Joy Road, and that will take you down to Bodega Highway. Bodega Highway. And from there, I'm actually gonna ride to Freestone and grab a couple scones at the Wildflower Bakery. It is world-class baking here in Sonoma County. Apparently the owner, if I understand correctly, went to France and learned how to bake there and then came back to the US and started this place. I could be wrong, I'm just going off of memory, but that's what I remember. It's called Wildflower, spelled Flour. So it's pretty cool. Very busy, popular spot, especially on the weekends. But I think today is going to be a 2 scone ride. I've passed lunchtime already and I didn't bring any snacks, so I think I'm going to get 2. Eat one there and then put one in my pocket and ride up over the hill and stop at the coffee shop. Okay, so that was the Joy Road descent, and at the top it's, as you can see, very smooth. And then as you get down towards the bottom, it turns back into rough pavement. They didn't repave the whole thing yet, but anyway, one thing I have to say about this bike that just truly blows my mind is how smooth it rides over these rough roads. Even with 25mm wide tires, it's really surprising. I'd have to say, I would say, you know, this is the first true like high-end skinny tire steel road bike I've owned. I've had some vintage steel bikes in the past, but they all had wider tires and they were very smooth too, but I always attributed it to the wider tires. But what's really remarkable about this bike is just how smooth it feels, even with a narrow rim and a skinny tire. It's very surprising. And you know, I've ridden I have a titanium road bike. I put over 50,000 miles on it on these same roads. I have a carbon fiber specialized tarmac SL1. I bought it new as a frame set back in 2009. Built it up as a racing bike. I put quite a few miles on that. I've done a bunch of amateur road races on it. And so I have a good feel for what a road bike should feel like. And, well, not what it should feel like, but the titanium and the carbon, I have a good feel of what that feels like. And this is good. This is really surprising me. So there is something to be said for skinny tubed, thin profile, so double butted tubing made into a road bike frame, and the ride quality of that is just phenomenal from my experience anyway. So all right, so anyway, we're on our way on this highway. We're going to get to Freestone here in just a few minutes. From Freestone we jumped onto Bohemian Highway. This goes up to a town called Occidental. Occidental was a really cool town at one time where they started the Grasshopper Adventure Series races. And Occidental was, back in like the 70s and 80s, Occidental was the place to be. There was a cool bike shop here called Gianni, and it was really kind of like the North Bay's version of Fairfax. Okay, good ride today, everyone. Thanks for joining me. The ride was 56 miles and 3,500 feet of climbing. Mostly smooth pavement with a few sections of rough, but otherwise not bad. So, to summarize this video, I would say before you go out and buy a new road bike, a new expensive carbon fiber road bike, and you've not tried something like this, but you've tried a carbon bike, and maybe you've tried a titanium bike or an aluminum bike, but you've never tried a higher end steel road bike with road tires, you know, it might be worth giving this a try. You can pick something up like this for, well, depends. I mean, they go from very affordable to very expensive depending on the classic value of it. This particular bike is an early 90s frame, so it may not be as expensive in the used market as something that's maybe from the 70s. I know the Eddie Merckx bikes are getting pretty expensive, but this one, you could probably find something like this for $500-600. And with a little bit of modern upgrades, like this is 10 speed, which is now considered outdated, but it's integrated into the brake lever. These narrow bars are really fun to try out if you've not tried out narrow, skinny road bars. What I like about this is I've got the level stem and I've got a fairly deep drop, so I can sit up here and it's not so aggressive, and then if I want a really aggressive fit or position, I can drop down into these deep drops. So it really gives you a lot to work with. This bend is really nice. It's got a long ramp, but it's not so drastically angled down like this. Some of the older style handlebars, one of the original handlebars for drop bars, were sloped really steeply here, and they don't work well with brake lever shifters. But this particular one is a more modern version of it, so it has a more level ramp and drop. So it works great with these brake lever shifters, so that's something to keep in mind. The other thing that's cool about this frame is that it's a very tall frame, so it's got a long head tube, and that's become really fashionable in modern day road bikes. You see a lot of new bikes with a really tall head tube and this kind of level flat stem that's now aero, but this is actually not what they would usually do back in the day. If you were riding this frame, you'd probably have a higher stem, and it would probably be a quell stem, and you would be a really tall person, because this frame was built for a much taller person. But because I'm able to slam it down like this and get it low enough, it actually fits me pretty well, and it has a fairly, I guess it just has a fairly tall head tube, and you know, maybe aesthetically that's not perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I really like it. I think if I could go back now after all these years of road cycling, I would actually I kind of wish I had purchased one of these early on, just rather than wait till now to experience this. So yeah, if you're into road bikes and you're into bikes at all, and you haven't tried something like this would be a lot of fun. And make sure don't just pick any old clunker. Get something with good quality double butted tubing. Columbus SL is a good line. SLX is another good one. It has a little bit of a different butting inside. It has some sort of helical butting or helical cutout in there. I'm not sure what the special thing is with it, but all right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.